Hey folks, it's Angel. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a short flight from right here at what I believe is Camarillo. It is, yes, Camarillo Airport in California. That's a rather famous film set. Can you guess where we're going today with the helicopter we've got? Yeah, this is the Flyinside Bell 47G. Now, disclaimer, this copy was given to me by the developers. However, I previously reviewed the very same helicopter, or the previous version, which I purchased with my own money. So what they did was give me the marketplace version of the helicopter. Now, why is that different? Well, most helicopters to date use the Airland FS program in the background, which limits them really to PC users. Now, whilst it's not available yet, this means this helicopter will be soon available for Xbox users on the marketplace. And if you don't want to run extra software on your computer, this runs with all of the usual abilities to control it inside itself. So it's all internal. No messing around with plugins and programs to start, get in and fly. Now, we're heading to the MASH set today. It should be about 15 nautical miles away. As soon as I can click a button. There we go. And I will say this is a perfect helicopter for using head tracking with, because oh boy, does it fit. That's me moving that around. I shouldn't be doing that. Hat switch actually helps me center this sometimes. There we go. Now, I particularly love this one because, as you'll see down here, where's that spot? There we go. And here's the sim manager, which allows you to actually control what you're doing with the aircraft. So we can enable the governor, we can enable engine failures, we can enable various settings, so we can go easy, medium, realistic, and it actually will mess things around and choose where to put stuff for you. So we're going to kind of go for a bit of a custom setting here. We'll go about 50-50, because I'm feeling brave, but not that brave. I'm not a helicopter person per se, and I'm using a yoke and a throttle, so this should be fun. Yeah. So let's pop that down there, and let's get started. And starting this aircraft has to be one of the most amazing sounds in the entire sim. Okay, ready? There we go. Oh, listen to that, huh? Oh, the whistle, the spin of the blades, everything sounds so good. It actually sounds like a rattly little old helicopter. And the radial engine start, or the engine start, I should say, for the aircraft as well. It just sounds phenomenal. Okay. And everything's looking clear here, and I'm going to have to navigate here by a bit of old dead reckoning, so we're going to do our best with this one. But as I just move around in the cockpit here at home, we're going to depart. So we're going to give it some throttle, or some cyclic, I should say. Collective, that's the one. Yep, cyclic's the one in my hand, the collective's the one on the ground. Okay, there we go. We're going to come around to a heading of about 090 here. And we're going to depart. It's a closed airport here, so basically free operations for us. So looking for about a heading of easterly direction here. Now, we're flying into what is the Malibu State Park. And why is this famous? Well, this is where it was filmed. This is where MASH was actually filmed. Now, originally, this was the 20th Century Fox Ranch, or part of the ranch was in here. In this whole area, it became the Malibu State Park, Malibu Creek State Park. Now, the actual set of the MASH filming was set there. Why? Well, the Fox Ranch was within that 30-mile zone around Los Angeles that allowed actors to be paid a certain rate, a standard rate, for their work. Any further out, and you ended up having to pay them more in overtime. So most Hollywood stuff, even until fairly recently, especially TV shows, you'll find are all filmed within that zone, because that's why all these locations look very similar. Star Trek's a key example of that, because it makes it cheaper. It's cheaper to pay people than it is to go further and find other set locations. So yeah, they brought Korea to California. Now, what's MASH? If you've not heard of it, MASH was a show as a war comedy made from 1972 to 1983, and it was about the 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, MASH. It was set around the various characters like Hawkeye, Trapper John, Radar. We had Burns, Houlihan, Klinger, the preacher, the pastor, the padre, I should say. And it was a phenomenal show. Ran for 11 seasons, I believe, 10, 11 seasons. In fact, the finale, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, if I'm remembering correctly, was actually the most watched show, US TV show, from 1983 until 2010. That's how big it was. In fact, it's still the most watched finale and the most watched scripted series to this very day, which is incredible if you think about it. No, an amazing show. In fact, whilst it was about Korea, it was actually very much about, or the underlying message, shall we say, was about Vietnam. So Korea was the setting, the Korean War was the setting, but it was really about Vietnam because it was first released during that time. So interesting impact there. Got power lines there to watch out for. Now I'm going to have to try and navigate here by hand. So I'll be looking to my side occasionally while I look for my map as I try to locate where we're heading. Angora Hills should be where we're trying to aim for. And I'm looking for a large boating lake which should be off our current heading in the not too distant future. So we'll keep ourselves climbing for now, because I will need a little bit of altitude to do that. I'm going to try and make sure our engine's in a good range here. Pull the power back a little bit there so we're not overstressing the engine. Now this is a piston driven helicopter, so you do have to worry about that sort of thing, manifold pressure rather than just the RPM and a turbine that can stay within certain tolerances. It's a much more sensitive engine, so you do need to be careful. Okay. Don't see our target yet, but that's fine. We could be a fair distance out, although I believe we are roughly on track. I'm literally flying this off my compass, so we'll see how well we do. But as long as I can keep the main freeway in my sight, which I think is below us, we should be good. So there's the freeway down below. This is a proper exercise in VFR flight, and it should do us just fine. I may have picked up the wrong freeway, but I'm hoping this is the correct one. We'll wind our way through the hills now. Keeping an eye out for that very distinctive boating lake. That's our big reference point for the start of this. We're flying just a little south from our 090 kind of ballpark as we fly in towards the park area. This is the park over here. Lots of amazing hiking trails through there. Looking good so far. It's not a fast helicopter, but it will certainly do its job. We're about at 80 knots right now, indicated, which, for what this is remarkably impressive. These were really the first, one of the first widely used military helicopters for the US military, and it did see extensive service in the Korean War, both for scout purposes and also for medical purposes. So it was the very first, whilst it really wouldn't carry troops, it was very much used as a medevac helicopter. And you could, of course, remember seeing those in the TV show MASH, flying in and out of the actual hospital's helipads and arriving, delivering patients. And like the real thing, the pads are a little bit further up than the... Still trying to keep an eye out for that lake. Yeah, the pads are a little bit further out from the actual camp itself and the hospital. Now I have to say this is a little bit personal to me because MASH, always something that struck home. I did my time with the medical branches of the British military, and there haven't really been many shows that truly got to the nitty-gritty of life in that environment. Not quite as realistically. The only other one I can note is the more modern day British show Bluestone 42, based around one of our explosive ordnance disposal units in Afghanistan. That one is very accurate and very funny, so check that out if you're interested. Okay, so there's a big lake in the over there to our right. That could be our in fact, yes. Because I'm thinking that is the lake with the houses around it. That will be the lake in the hills. Which means we should be on target. We are on target. Okay, this is wonderful. My god, I'm actually doing the right thing for once. I'm navigating in a helicopter with a compass, a map, and half a plan. And I've never flown through here before, nor have I actually flown to this location, so we're both going there for the first time. Now, I have the wonderful scenery created by Photos by Kev, who does a ton of great scenery. He's releasing a load of Papua New Guinea stuff at the moment, based around the Missionary Bush Pilot YouTube channel, who also flies a Kodiak. Go check him out on flightsim.to. I'll be linking to this scenery, of course, as usual, in the description. Bingo, that is our location there. Yep, well no, not the location, but this is our correct heading. We're on track. So that'll be Westlake Village that we're aiming at right now, which is on the water. I must say, helicopter flying is one of the real benefits of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, because you really get to appreciate the satellite scenery. Like, you really get to appreciate the quality of the combination of satellite and autogen in its true majesty, because you get to see so much more of it, especially in an aircraft like this with so much visibility. There we are. I could go forwards to the next town past here, which is then a straight shot south in the valley, which I think might be the smartest choice, so we'll do that. But we know where we are now. Yep, there's Westlake Village. We'll actually fly over that now. Pick up a little speed here. RPM is in a good window. Checking on that. Oh, our pressures are looking good. Now, this can do... this helicopter can experience ring vortices, so you do have to be careful of that when at slow speed and hovering, which is always something to be concerned about. The aircraft will basically lose lift and drop. It's concerning, and you can destroy this engine. It does have engine damage modelled. We have that turned off for now, but we shall not be making that mistake. Okay, beautiful Malibu scenery all around us. Of course, the 20th Century Fox Ranch saw a lot of other TV productions as well. You'll be very familiar with a lot of the scenery once we fly in there. Yep, here's Westlake Village there, and there's a lake above it. Which does not have a name on my map, but close enough. It's very noisy, of course, being a helicopter, but nothing much beats this view. I think the only other fixed-wing aircraft that can do this is the Edgeley Optica, which is also slow. Okay, there's Westlake Village. Let's go down and take a look as we go past. Yeah, helicopters are not my forte, and nor am I likely to want to switch out my controls for a cyclic and collective regularly to do that, but you know what? You can actually fly this and others relatively well with a yoke and pedals and a throttle. I use the Cytec quadrant. Now, of course, it's not ideal, but with a little practice you can do it, and once you're used to how the helicopter behaves, you can actually do alright. So yeah, here's Westlake Village down here. A beautiful place to live, I'm sure. They're probably getting very annoyed with the helicopter flying over their heads. Yep, hello, excuse me. We'll climb out of here. So I'm actually going to climb out here and come up to our left, because rather than cutting across country here in terrain I'm not familiar with, I will choose instead to take the freeway, as so many people in California love to do, and follow that to the next junction. Because the next major junction south is the one that will take us through the valley that leads us to the camp. Freeway's over there. We've actually dropped a little bit south of that, so we'll pick ourselves up here. So yeah, the sim doesn't really support helicopters yet, but people have been bodging them in very, very well, and there's so many amazing renditions, including the 145, there's a 125 now, there is this, and High Performance Group, of course, did a great one. They've had their helicopter out now for some time. or in beta, I believe it was. I think it's released. I'm not sure. Not being a massive helicopter person, it's not something I keep track of, but I do own a version of that. Modern helicopters scare me. They have so many buttons and controls and switches, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I already look like a fool to most of you on my videos, so I thought, why help it make it worse, you know? Okay, so this ridge line we're flying along now, where it drops away, should lead us to the southbound road. Agorea Hills? Agorea Falls? Agorea Hills? Agorea Hills? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a thing. A word. Okay. Is this our road now? We should go down here, then peel away to that direction. This looks like it, actually. Yeah. Which should put us over here. Oh no, we want to go this way, not following the road. We'll follow the river, which we should see down there ahead of us. Yeah, we follow the river. Should be over there. Let's check this out. Yep, there's a lake that should be over here. And we follow south of that. Well, here's hoping this works, because I have no idea if I'm going to the right place, but we should be alright. Let's get ourselves a little bit lower so we can see what's going on. But this is taking us right into the Malibu Creek Park. Yep, there's the lake. I figure using period navigation rather than any kind of mini-maps or moving map systems, GPS is much more accurate and appropriate, so we're doing just that. Of course, this helicopter, not a high point of technology, but this variant's been equipped with the essentials of a radio and a transponder, neither of which we're using today because this is the 1950s. We're in Korea. Calorinia. That doesn't even work. Why did I even make that remark? Okay. None of this looks familiar, but we'll keep going. Where's my map? I'm getting nervous. So we have the tree-lined part here, heading south in there. Following this further south should lead us where we need to go. Okay. This is all looking appropriate at least. And it's now starting to look more like the MASH set. Okay. Let's get down lower and see if we can spot this from the air. Oh, this feels like I'm flying right into the TV show. Oh, we're in the right spot now. What's that? Is that? No way, did I find it? Nope, that's just a building. Not the right building, so let's keep going. If I can't find it, I will open the map and cheat. But for now, we're going to do this the old school way. Mark one eyeball. This does look very much like Korea, actually. They're not very wrong. At least the mountainous border regions. We could very easily have gone too far here, so I'll do my best. Nothing down there. Buildings down here look like this is not the right location, but we'll check it out. Where would you be? Not here? This looks a bit too built up to be the right place. It's meant to be a hike off the trail. You know what? For you, the viewer's sake, I am going to cheat now because I'm pretty sure I've passed it. So it's magic bar thing. Appear. Huzzah! Magic map thing. No! There you go. Okay. Yeah, we have definitely passed it. We definitely passed it. Okay, so that was the lake I was looking for on the map. I definitely zoomed straight past without a care in the world. Where's our best route that way? So it should be on our left down this valley. We'll get the direction right. We'll do the rest of the actual finding ourselves. This is what happens when your map, and this is where I actually admit to my major fault here. My map is a print screen of the world map menu. Therefore, that's why I can't find it. So it should be somewhere up here on the left. We'll keep our eyes open. Once you get used to this helicopter, it's very stable to fly. There's a little house. I have got it on a simplified difficulty, about 50% sensitivity, because, again, using my honeycomb alpha yoke and a Cytec throttle quadrant, Cytec rudder pedals, not the ideal setup for a helicopter, but not imperfect either. Okay. One last... See, this looks very familiar. Oh. I'm thinking it's the far side of this. Let's go round, shall we? The blade slap as well when you get to off angle of attack is also a very nice sound. Okay, where are we? Would it be in here somewhere? That's a bit of water there. Would it be down here? Oh, I give up. Let's keep the map on until we find it. I'm a giant bimbling idiot. Okay, so over here. Right, should be over here. We should be on it as we come over the crest. Can't miss it now. There we go. Making a pilgrimage. There we go. Hospital in sight. Dead ahead. And there's the pads up on the hill behind it. So there's the hospital. There are the pads. I have eyes on. Let's make the run in. Here we go. Oh, this does look iconically MASH. This will be the trail leading in. A little bit low, probably annoying the hospital staff there as we come across the iconic film set. Guard post. The ambulance. Oh my god, that's cool. The path the Willis Jeeps would go up to the helipad. There's our pad. Take a bit of a look around first. Oh yeah. Look at this. This is so MASH. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love it. That is MASH. Alright, let's put this thing down on the pad. So, wind direction. Whoa! Speaking of ring vortices, I just caught one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what just happened there. I was a little bit too static as I was hovering. Killed my lift. Okay. Okay, bring it down here. Bit sharp. I'm very special when it comes to this sort of thing. This helicopter's my brain. Not a great pairing. Close enough. Right. Let's take a look outside, shall we? This, of course, is the special MASH version of the Bell 47G, with the patient litters with the wind covers over the end of them. And it has got the 4077th on the side. Nice work, guys. Let's take a look down here. Got the steps down, which are, I believe, in this case, yep, they're crates. Hey, they would have probably been crates at the time. Now, well, so we do have one of the ambulances, which is up there. I think it was ravaged by one of the recent bushfires in the area. Don't know if the ISOs are accurate. The gunny shack. Got the hospital tents. We don't have the swamp, unfortunately. Although I think one of these is in the location of where the swamp would be, and I don't see the famous sign. But hey, you know, he's working with stock props in a lot of cases, or library props. So not a bad job overall, to be honest, to replicate the set. Not a bad job at all. Wow, the MASH film location. And a wonderful helicopter to fly it in. And you know what? I may not be a great helicopter pilot, but this thing is forgiving enough to make it enjoyable as this goes jitter, 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 because the sim is made of potatoes. This honestly made for a very fun flying experience. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed coming on this rattling, teeth-jarring flight with me, and that I wasn't too embarrassing to helicopters everywhere. But I really like this because rather than having to start programs, the Flyinside 47 lets me just launch and go. It's all built in, all of it's internal to its own systems, and no faffing around with programs and plugins, which makes it really convenient. And it's one of those iconic aircraft from history that, in a sim that looks this good, low and slow, it'd be rude not to fly. So, thank you for watching. Please go check out my review on this aircraft, which I did a couple of months ago, maybe 6 months ago now. Go check that review out. I really enjoyed that at the time. It was a great aircraft to fly. Back then it used the MSFS system. Now it's all built into its own self. And go check it out in the marketplace. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.